Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm here to do a review of the Dermacol. I've heard this around YouTube, people saying this is like the fullest coverage and it's waterproof. So I got mine from eBay for $9.89, so pretty much like $10. And I always use, when I try and use eBay, I always use for like fast shipping. So I got it in a week, so it was really good. For $10, this foundation is pretty cheap, and I heard it's full coverage. I'm looking at the description right now on the eBay site, and it says it provides outstanding coverage with a natural looking finish for the entire face and body. Your skin will be well balanced and have a velvety matte appearance. Okay, so I am here to test it out, and they didn't have a lot of colors for women of color, if I'm gonna be honest with you. So I'm gonna get a darker shade, and the darkest shade is 224. So this is how they this is how it came in. There's the package, you know, and yeah, it says expiration 2020. Okay, so this is how the tube comes in. Let me turn that over. So it's a makeup cover. It says shelf life is 24 months, made in Euro. So I got the darkest shades 224, and from the website and swatches online, I think it's like maybe 1 or 2 shades lighter than me. Like, I wish they came in darker ranges of rich, you know, women of color. But it might, if it's not my foundation color, if I do like it, I can use it as concealer. You know, you just have to make it work. We always have to. So I'm gonna open this up. The usual, when you open it up, you can see it's all sealed. It's all sealed, and you have to use the cap to puncture it. My goodness, it oozed out. Yeah, you call this the darkest shade? I'm really disappointed, really disappointed. Like, I already knew it was too light, but I still wanted to give it the benefit of the doubt, since it was like the world's most full coverage, flawless, waterproof foundation, you know. So this is the color. Sorry, my hands are ashy, but it's very yellow. It has like a warm undertone. And you call this your darkest shade? God. So there is no way I can use this as a foundation, because it's just way too light. Like, it's obviously too light. But I will still try it, because I just want to see how full coverage it is, because the fullest coverage I've ever tried on foundation is the Marc Jacob foundation. The fullest foundation I've ever tried was the Marc Jacob, I think, Remarkable foundation. Those drops, wasn't really a drop because I had a ball on the applicator, and you just dot it. One swipe can fill up your whole face. But I didn't like it because they didn't have good undertones for women of color. It was like all ashy. I've even tried the all famous, what do you call it, the Estee Lauder double wear foundation. I've tried it. I had the hugest hope ever. It was good, but I had to return it after like 3-4 trials of trying to match my color, because all of the dark shades are way too red. Like, not all of us women of color are red undertones. Like, I have neutral undertone. I could go towards yellow, a little bit red, but they were just super, super red, and I had to return it. And I feel like it was full coverage if you use two layers, because the first layer still doesn't cover up all this hyperpigmentation. Not for me. The fullest coverage foundation that could cover all this was the Marc Jacobs Remarkable foundation. But aside of that, I'm gonna try this and see if it's truly the fullest coverage in this entire, you know, world, people has people say. So I'm just gonna try a little bit. I know it's messy, but I'm gonna clean that up later. Just gonna use a kabuki brush, which I always do for all my foundation. Yeah, that is way too light. Clearly, I went too close to my nose. It has a smell, but it's not really a bad smell. Yeah, you can see that it's way too light, but does it cover my hyperpigmentation? No, it doesn't, because if I go with a second layer, it probably can, but not that first wipe. So I feel like it's the same full coverage as a Estee Lauder or any full coverage clay foundation. It's not like one swipe full coverage like the Marc Jacobs or Kevin Aquan Essentials. Those, now that is a full coverage. I need to use it as a foundation and concealer and whatnot. That's a full coverage on one swipe. So not a fan of this shade, and it doesn't cover. So, well, it covers, but when you use like more layers, obviously. So I'm gonna take this off and try and use it as a concealer. Okay, I'm back. So I'm gonna use my trusty Becca foundation in Mink. Now this is a neutral foundation, and it's not too much red, you know, it's not too golden, it's just neutral, which is perfect. My all-time perfect. I haven't found any other foundation like just has a beautiful finish, and it's almost done. No, oh my gosh, this foundation surprises me though. Like, when I thought it was done, it lasts me for another week. Then the next week, it's like it's almost done, it lasts me for another week. It lasts me for a good like extra month. Like, if I could total how long I've had this, maybe 2 to 3 months, and I use it every freaking day when I go to work and like out and stuff. So I love this. Definitely gonna be repurchasing this because it's my favorite foundation of all time. I haven't found any that can beat this so far. I haven't found any that can beat this so far. So I'm just using a brush. Definitely use a beauty blender after to like really like blend it well with no streaks and stuff. But I don't want to be honest, I don't want to get my beauty blender dirty. So I'm just gonna stick with the brush and get it as blended as possible, just for the sake of this video, because this is just a review for that, you know, Dermacol foundation. And I'm going to bed right after this, so don't need to dirty all my tools, you know, when I don't really need to. So I'm just putting my foundation full coverage, tapping so it could blend better. No more like swiping down, just tapping, tapping, tapping. You guys know this trick. When you tap, it's full coverage. Anyways, back to the concealer. So gonna use this as my concealer. If it works as a concealer, that would be great, you know. At least it's not like totally trash. I could always make it work. You can make any makeup work. If you can't use it on its own, you can always mix it with other stuff to make it work to what you want it to do. Honestly, like I can mix this with probably cover FX drops that is darker than this and just make it even more full coverage, because that alone is a full coverage, you know, pigment drops, and get my perfect shade. So you can make anything work. So it's definitely light enough for concealer, and this is supposed to be the darkest shade, so yeah, definitely like this is enough concealer to go to work, because I don't need that big highlighted effect when going to work. Like I usually use my LA Pro concealer in Fawn because it's yellow enough and it's not too light for my skin tone. It's just the right amount of highlight color, and this definitely like mimics that like color, definitely mimics it. And I'm just using a little bit, so I do like it as a concealer. I can definitely use this every day to work. Definitely $10 worth it. So if you could, this is definitely gonna last. This is definitely gonna last me, and it's more than the LA concealer. LA concealers are usually like $3 or $4, and this is $10. So $3 or $4. This is still more than the amount of three count of LA Pro concealer. So I do like that a lot, and I probably can use this on my clients too. So you can see it's good for highlight, not for foundation, for highlight. So I do like that, and I'm gonna use my banana powder in Benign to set it. I'm definitely gonna try it for work tomorrow and see how, you know, well it lasts during the day, because I do get oily through the day. So I could still get oily because it's not oil proof or anything or matte. It claims to be waterproof, so like when you're sweaty and stuff, not when you're oily. Some people get that confused, when you're oily and when you're sweaty. A waterproof is for when you're sweaty. Oily is when you're oily and you need a mattifier, you know, or some product that contains some kind of mattifier. So it definitely very, very nice as a concealer, you know. You could definitely see that. I do like it as a concealer. And you know, just to finish up the face, I'm gonna use my Lancome powder dual finish in Suede 560. It's like the darkest shade in foundation, in Lancome foundation powder. It's not a foundation powder, it's just a dual finish powder. So the darkest shade, I was looking for like the darkest shade powder in Sephora, any brand, just in Sephora, and this is the darkest I could find that is not too red, cool tone. I was always looking for like a cool tone, because I can always use like my MAC Finish Skin Finish, which has a red undertone, has a bronzer, has, you know, to bring that warmth back. But for contour, I want a cool toned contour. So just quickly, just trying to finish up my foundation to see how it pulls together, honestly. And not bad, not bad at all. I'll definitely wear this to work. So I was gonna give it a thumbs down in my initial thought of it, but I will keep it for highlighting because I'm just gonna make it work, you know. So thank you guys for watching this. I hope you found this helpful, because, you know, if you're planning to buy this Dermacol cover up foundation, just compare it to the LA Girl Pro Concealer in Fawn. If LA Girl Concealer in Fawn is your foundation shade, this shade will be perfect for you, because I've used LA concealer in Fun for clients foundation, because you know it has that yellow tone undertone. Some of my foundations that I used to mix don't have that yellow undertone, so the Pop concealer has a yellow undertone. I've used it for foundation, and it's pretty good for foundation. So just using it as a reference, LA Pro concealer foundation, LA Go concealer. It's late, you know what I mean. I'm so sorry for repeating myself 10 times, but I do like it. If that's your color, this is perfect for you. You should definitely get it because it's $10 and it's gonna last you longer than any other foundation. I can guarantee you that. Okay, so thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, you know, don't forget to like, and don't forget to comment what else you want to see. And I love you guys, and I'll see you later. Okay, bye loves.